Much like the Bad Seed DLC, the first weapon that I'm going to be using is the Scythe. And I'm sure you can probably already guess, but it is dropped from the Death boss fight, and is also the weapon that he uses when you fight him. So, despite being a survival scaling only weapon, it is actually quite fast and has really good reach. On top of that, it also has a pretty great gimmick. Forces the spirit of enemies you kill to help you, which means that anytime I kill an enemy with this weapon, they'll turn to a ghost, which will then fly to another enemy and explode for sometimes a surprising amount of damage. It is probably my favorite weapon of the DLC so far, just because, well, I mean, alone, just a survival weapon that is quite fast is worth an awful lot, as we saw that with the recent crossover update that did give us maybe the most overpowered weapon we've seen in some time, the baseball bat. However, this is not going to be super great against bosses for the most part, because most bosses are not going to be summoning a lot of enemies to be fighting alongside you. So what that means is that it's just going to be a regular, decent, fast survival weapon, which is still, like I said, worth so much. But anyway, you can even see right now just how absolutely ridiculous this can get. And I mean, even if an enemy does not end up dying from the ghost explosion, usually the next hit from the Scythe will end up doing them in, and then will consequently just keep creating more ghosts. And if you're lucky enough to get a legendary version of this weapon, ghosts can also create their own ghosts, which just perpetuates that until everything in the entire level is dead. It's very good. It reminds me a lot of the old-fashioned Tombstone and how that could work, where just being able to have enemies get killed by the curse that it puts on them would end up, yeah, pretty much destroying everything in the entire level, even if you couldn't see it. So, I am, of course, going to be going into the DLC area for Castlevania. I'm going to be fighting Death, but that does mean that I'm not going to be able to do the other half of the DLC. Apparently, you can only go into the Castlevania area once per run, so that means I've got to choose to fight Death, which is, of course, not only the thematic type of thing for this weapon, but also the boss that I'm better against. I'll admit, kind of struggling with old Dracul there. He's not the easiest guy to fight, and of course takes quite a bit longer, given that you can enter into the DLC area in this first area, or through the clock tower, which is, well, quite a bit later. Anyway, can I... Ow. Stomp there is ruining my chance to get all these ghosts. Like, look, this is full-on Necromancer time here as far as I'm concerned. I even got the proper, like, outfit for it and everything. I really do want to be trying to hit every single enemy that I can with the Scythe. I mean, really, I do think the Scythe, even by itself, can probably carry a run for the most part. Maybe not against bosses, but against just regular biomes, absolutely. Alright, still nothing particularly good here, but I am going to want to take as much money as possible, because you might notice that this is still the new save file that I did kind of in preparation for the DLC, so I'm not quite as powerful as I could possibly be. I don't have every single one of the mutations unlocked. I don't have every one of the items unlocked. Besides, though, it's also... The more important thing is that the Forge is not particularly highly upgraded, so money to be able to attempt to upgrade my weapon here is going to be a little bit more important than normal. Well, I think I should probably be fine, though. I mean, after all, I do also want to just buy a new version of this weapon as soon as I can. And that will require me to actually end up going into the next area. So, down the stairs. Good old Castlevania stairs. And much like in Castlevania, they are kind of janky. Oh, there's a little bit of jank there. I mean, not only is there stuff where attacking normally pushes you forward a little bit to make sure that you can hit enemies that much easier, as you can see here. Doesn't work on the stairs. There's also stuff where I have... Hello, Shanoa. There's also stuff where I have accidentally just hit an enemy through stairs. And I know that on 5-cell mode here, just enemies teleporting around doesn't work as well as you want it to. Still, though, that is very much in line with old school Castlevania. If you never played any of those old games, the physics were a little bit weird. I mean, the most dangerous thing in that entire game, at least for I'm talking the classic NES ones, were the fact that you would end up, well, getting knocked into pits more often than anything else. The huge amount of knockback. Unless you were on stairs. Because they would you just magnetize right to them. So a legitimate strategy would just be that if you know you're going up against a bunch of enemies that you won't be able to fight properly, well, just go get yourself on some stairs. And you'll be, well, you're still going to take damage, but you'll be fine. I know that's probably not intentional or anything in this DLC, but I think it works out just fine regardless. All right. Well, anyway, hey, it does mean that if I am going to try and go for, like, curses, and given that these are, you know, some new enemies here, well, a lot of them do tend to follow the same sort of patterns as other enemies that already exist in the game. For example, the dire werewolves on 5-cell mode here do mostly act like the rampagers that exist in the game. There are still enough differences that I'm getting quite tripped up. I know that in the next area, one of the enemies, I keep trying to go for parries and whatnot, and let me tell you, it does not work. But hey, I'll say this. We finally have a proper target for the wolf trap. Surely that's worth a lot, right? I mean, I can appreciate it. Ice shards. Now, normally the reason you want to take ice shards with a survival weapon is to make up for the fact that the survival weapon is so slow and everything. I don't think that's a problem here. I think I can just sell that and keep working with the shield. Which is, of course, Alucard's shield also from the DLC here. But that one is gonna have its own run eventually, because I think it's interesting how it works. It is still, it's sort of like a more weaponized shield that you would see. I'm thinking like the assault shield, for example, but also not quite. It's even better than that. So yeah, I am definitely excited to be trying out some of these weapons. They have been huge highlight of the DLC so far. I mean, just being able to have it's just something, well, some of this stuff like the proper Death Scythe is just great. I love it. Anyway, should be good. Should be good. Yep. I mean, there are, of course, plenty of weapons to be checking out, plenty of outfits that I still have yet to get. And I mean, I technically haven't even finished the DLC fully just yet. I mean, I got the Dracul, but didn't really manage to beat him yet. Because, of course, I am trying to do it on the hardest difficulty with all the new weapons and everything, too. So, I suppose that is somewhat my fault, but still. Definitely going to want to practice that for when I end up doing a few of the other weapons here. Okay. Other than that, I think, I mean, hey, I did say that this is going to be the Necromancer run. Taking Necromancy makes just that much more sense. I mean, besides, it also has, like, the vampirism sort of icon on there already. I feel like it's an appropriate sort of mutation to take here, and definitely doesn't just say, man, I'm taking way too much damage in this run, right? Yeah, okay, fine. Look, Necromancy is still great if you are taking a lot of hits, and oh, jeez. Thank you, ghosts. Once again, the ghosts. The ghosts are so good. I mean, they only last so long, but still. I do really like having them around here. I guess I could get the Scarecrow Sickles. Also a very appropriate weapon for this type of run. Now, proper Death Scythe would just kind of appear somewhere in the air and then fly towards your enemy. I mean, that is, of course, the only way Death could attack all the way back in the original Castlevania. But here, this is about as close as I'm going to get to that, right? I don't know. That's my best justification for using this right now. These skeletons sure do a lot of damage. Let me tell you. And because they have a very unique sort of, well, they got the classic Castlevania lob up in the air, it is a lot less predictable than some of the other projectiles I'm used to in Dead Cells. So definitely something to... Alright, not yet. Wait, where is the... Oh, you're... Yeah, okay. I thought I vaguely remembered that this layout had the button on the bottom there. Okay, but really, just keep moving on up here. The first time that I tried to go through this area, it took like, what was it? All of my potion charges, I think? But of course, I am still... But of course, at this point in time, I think I'm a lot more confident in trying to deal with these characters. It's just Dracula. It's just Dracula himself. By the way, good job, Tracker. Good spawning point there. Really just Dracula himself, I feel like I'm truly struggling to handle. Even at this point in time, I've actually been able to beat Death. Just in a simple prep up for this run, trying to make sure I got his patterns down and everything. I was able to beat Death with this very weapon. Yeah, I wanted to practice it a couple times to make sure that I wasn't going to be dying 5 or 6 times like it was the frantic sword from all the way back in Season 1, but I think I kind of got it now. And see, the thing is, as a boss, very, very large-looking attacks, but they can still all be rolled through, which is definitely something to be talking about a little bit more as I get to that part of this run. Now go! And with one singular hit yet left, there's another soul right there. Yeah, I would love to go get a legendary version of this particular weapon, but due to the fact that this is such a new save file, I don't even have Wish unlocked yet, which would normally be the easiest way to get that. Now there are other ways to get that. Fractured Falls, specifically the Fractured Shrines area, I've been told normally legendary weapons, the way they work is that they can be drawn from any weapon in the game, even ones that you haven't unlocked, even for areas you haven't seen yet. Almost. Even from areas you haven't seen yet. However, the Fractured Falls ones evidently only take that from the weapons you currently have unlocked, which is, well, it's still very unlikely because, as per usual, when it comes to me using the... Here, what do you got? See if I can get, like, some better synergy coming up later. Yeah, as per usual, when it comes to these challenge runs, showcase runs, let's be honest, this shouldn't be a challenge. I mean, I haven't even been using Mushroom Boy here, despite buying him in the previous shop. I have every one of the weapon from this particular category, melee weapons in this case, all locked off, except for the Scythe, just to make sure that I can get it. Okay, now come on. That was just silly. So I have more of a chance, but then there's also much more likelihood that I'm just going to get... Oh, come on. I'm telling you, the skeletons. The skeletons. That's where I need the souls to be getting in. Okay, but yes, I was saying, it's probably going to be a ranged weapon. Maybe a turret. Nothing that wouldn't be too bad, though. It would definitely still be worthwhile to check out, and also it would be pretty fun to get one of the gigantic golem guard things. Wow, that was really close. Gigantic oh my god, this is really close. All of these so very close right now. I mean, needless to say, I got like the 60 kills and everything. I'm doing just fine anyway. Oh yeah, get a ghost of one of those. It's like good old-fashioned Dead Cells when I could not even finish a sentence. That's I mean, it doesn't scale with survival, so whatever. That is the power of having the DLC. New content out here. It's learning the game all over again. And you might have noticed that, yes, I do have Castlevania music just playing. That is an option they have introduced in the DLC here. In the sound menu, you can change the soundtrack to just straight up having the classic Symphony of the Night soundtrack going on, which I do really like. I mean, of course, I got like all the great remixes and everything, but there is something about just, I'll just turn all the music into classic Castlevania. that is something that I'm surprised that we ended up getting. All right. I mean, I've been kind of wavering around 50%, but it's certainly doing good enough. And with a new weapon bot from the shop here, it should actually be enough to... Man, maybe I'll just skip this next area. It doesn't seem like there's much of interest. Maybe I'll just go upgrade that. See if I can't get a good synergy or two. Like, for what? I don't know. Burn would be pretty nice. I guess Burn would be the one to go for if I can find anything. But, you know, what am I going to find for survival in particular is the real question. Now, the surprising thing in this DLC is that a lot of these weapons actually are survival. And maybe the one to go for, specifically introduced here, is the Holy Water, which does do burn, and is survival scaling, and it stays around for quite a while. Maybe it might just be a small area, of course, but it is also an area... It is also... a very long period it stays around and is good for bosses, for example, where you tend to be fighting them in a smaller area anyway. Alright, well, I wasn't... No, that was pretty bad. But hey, Necromancer run. Is Mushroom Boy Necromancer? Not really, but close enough. I do like the Prismatic Shard deck. I do also like Alucard's Shield, but... Yo, this does give me a lot of benefits here. I mean, I'm thinking probably Poison right now. If I could get Poison Synergy now, it would be really worthwhile. And sure, let's keep unlocking a few more of the outfits here. Should probably save it for, of course, the... you should probably save this, of course, for the Forge, but that's fine. The most revengeful of the Belmonts. Don't call him Trevi, or you could hate more. Oh, yeah? What if I called him Ralph? Because that should be his name. Can't believe we're still calling him Trevor. Anyway. Check that one out later. And then, oh, what else? Disengagement, of course, is always a pretty good take. Something else that gives me more healing could be decent as well. I don't know. Maybe I'll just go with the standard. Keep it kind of safe, and then also don't forget that I want to go upgrade my weapon and potentially get poison. There we go. Perfect. 80% extra damage. Catalyst is just an amazing... I mean, overall, if you haven't seen how the Prismatic Shard deck works, it is amazing. It is just an absolutely fantastic item that can enable many synergies and a lot of defense and just a lot of great stuff. Okay, well, that was the enemy specifically that I was talking about. That the Bure. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But hey, curious. No, okay, that is considered. I was wondering if the ghosts would also poison enemies. No such luck, of course. But you can see, doing a great job, though, otherwise. Despite that. I want to say, though, they probably should still get synergy on... Well, I'll save this for later. They should probably still get synergy on the poison targets, too, though, right? Let's be careful. Also... Let me try and get my own sights out here. Man, I'm doing a very bad job with this. Oh, come on. Like, it's so close. Whatever, it's fine. There we are. I mean, of course, you know, you can't really choose what exactly the ghosts are going to be targeting, so sometimes it's not what you would consider to be the priority type of enemy, but close enough, certainly. Yep. Now, is there any way that... By the way, Throwmaster, yeah. Oh, God, do I even... I love the... Whew, I love the curse chest that they got for the Castlevania area. Like a little wolf. But I really think it's just gonna end in a heartache here if I do it. I just can't. It's gonna be bad. And don't get me wrong. Okay, there we go. Don't get me wrong. I do. I really want to, but It's just gonna be bad. And I know, new save file and everything, that means that I really could use that extra... Well, you just hit him already. Ah, not me. See, that's why. That's why I'm glad I didn't take that. I would be dead right now. Dead! Especially if I'm trying to do goofy gimmick runs on top of that. Well, with the Scarecrow Sickles. Usually not my favorite weapon to use. It's, as always, one of those things in Dead Cells where it becomes a little bit... Okay, then. Where it becomes a little bit too cumbersome in how it works. And I pressed the wrong button, too, on top of that. So I also have, Here, let's get the sides in here if I possibly can. Press the wrong button, too, on top of that. So I also have the... Oh, boy. I can't even remember the word that I was trying to say. Now, there is something to be said, because I do have foresight here. Avoid the first damage source dealt to you. Oh, now it has a recharge. It didn't used to. That's something new introduced. That's something new introduced into for this item here, for this update. But yeah, that would be very good for trying to deal with the curse. I'm gonna take the coward's way out. I'm just gonna say it right now. I am going to be cowardly. And you all can insult me for that. I welcome it. I love it. But also, let's get the try not to die moment going on here right now. Hey, check out all these sickles. Okay. Sickles, baby. They're happening. Okay. Wow. But this is also where that great reach that I was talking about with the scythe comes in. Because that whole, like, spin around and everything really does hit quite a bit around you. Let's get, like, the punch in there with the barricade. Belly slam, if you will, if you've played Slay the Spire before. Yes, this is a reference to Slay the Spire. I guess if you haven't seen the previous update, this is one of the crossover items. And as such, it is very powerful. I mean, I think that's very true even for a lot of the stuff in the Castlevania DLC here. That really, it's a lot of very powerful items. I feel like Motion Twin is always very happy to give any like crossover stuff some let them be extra powerful compared to normal. Okay. I still want to keep. Of course, I still want to keep the poison here. I kind of need that. Just... Oh, wait. Yeah, that was... Okay. This is why I got disengaged, of course. And necromancy. Nah. I'm gonna have to do better than that. Alright, throw Master Man. Get over here and let's do this one more time. 3. I mean, well, good for some type of weapons, but not this one. Even though you would really expect this one to be scaling with brutality, right? This feels a lot more like a brutality weapon. Although it does have that comparison, of course, like I was saying, to the gravestone type of weapon. That kind of like a secondary effect sort of thing to it, which is also survival only, but that's also a much slower weapon. But then again, it's like the weapon that uses the same basic move set as the gravestone, of course. The Bible that was also included in this update is tactic scaling instead. Usually not one you would expect to be, well, that. Okay. Even if I'm not going to be taking... Even if I'm not going to end up taking the... okay. Just be kind of cautious here. Even if I'm not going to end up taking the curse chest, I'm still going to try and get as much force stats as possible. I think that's just a good idea. And we'll probably, on top of that, end up just hopefully getting a full heal from the food shop that exists in here. Which is pretty nice. I mean, I think this is the earliest food shop that exists in this game now. All the way in the second area. Yeah, I don't think that appears anywhere else. It does kind of speak to how difficult this area is in general, though. So, yeah, it's, well, I guess, no, this is technically the third area, right? Yeah, so this would line up with, like, the ossuary. Okay, fair enough. I suppose there is that thing if you do go in very early to the Castlevania DLC that... Oh, what do we got here? Swift Sword. I mean, obviously not bad, but also, like, you know... Oh, jeez. Oh, this might be a problem. Unless... Oh, and it's... Oh, perfect. It's one of these elites, too, on top of that. I was going to try and get it to teleport on top of the stairs, because I think that would probably save me, but, well. Oh, Carmilla, how you cry bloody tears. Okay, well, gotta make sure that I don't die here stupidly, but I should be okay. After all, I am getting 0.5% of health every single time I kill an enemy. Oof, though. Yeah. I feel like maybe I shouldn't be taking too much of a risk, and I should just go use a potion charge now. You know what? Let's just not even risk it. I think this has been a pretty decent run so far. I got some good synergies going on. I would really like to not use that. Okay, let's get rid of the sickle. It's just the Scavenge Bombard, you know, just being a turret alone is, as always, a pretty good choice for a survival build in its entirety. And this is no exception. Wait a second. Not dealing with another one of those. Okay. The one enemy that I cannot figure out how to fight. Now then. Need some more ghosts around here. That's what I gotta be doing. That's where the problem's coming in right now. I'm still definitely not taking that cursed chest. God, I want to go take that cursed chest. I love the Goofy Wolf cursed chest. I think it's very cute, but I also know that it's just not a good idea. It is going to end with me having to redo the entire run. Well, we'll go take a look over here first. Maybe I'll be able to get even another upgrade to the Scythe, which would be pretty nice. Which would be actually very nice. I don't know if it's going to happen. Oh, wow, we got enough enemies in here right now. Okay, throw you down. Ah! It's a Medusa head, which I'm surprised has not appeared in this DLC. You would think that they would be a centerpiece, given the prominence in the entirety of the Castlevania series. All right. Well, of course, throwable objects, very good weapon. Would probably make short work of any enemy that I come across, because they give a pretty hefty stun there. Also crossover weapon, so of course they're very powerful. But I want to see if I can... I mean, I should just be saving up for food stuffs over at the... Oh, what do you got? Nah. Okay, got at least one more thing here. Got throwings, or the, I keep wanting to call... Okay, I've been playing so much Vampire Survivors, even as of late, I just want to call it the Rune Tracer, but that's not what it's called. It's called the Rebound Stone. And, ugh. I don't know if it's... It sort of depends, but I don't know how good it would be for against most bosses. It's one of those... Definitely one of those... Oh, Ghost actually kind of got me there. Definitely one of those weapons that when I end up doing an episode on it, I'm going to have to kind of mess around with, see what I can't find. Yeah, in terms of good stuff. I am honestly surprised that there are not just naturally cleavers in this area, given that they are more or less axe knights. I mean, yes, we do get or axe armors, I mean. Now, yes, we do get also axe armors that exist in here. They're the guys that are coming out of the statues in the background and everything, but they throw axes in the way that you throw axes in Castlevania, not in the way that axe armors would normally do that. This is splitting hairs to an extreme degree. Well, yeah, whatever. I like Castlevania. I've played a lot of those games. I played Castlevania 1, 2, 3, all the way back on the NES. All the GBA games, all of the DS games. Played like Bloodstained and everything. And needless to say, one of the reasons why Dead Cells caught my eye in the first place was because it was so much like Castlevania. And I'm like, I like these games. Also, it's like Dark Souls, and that's cool. Dark Souls is a cool game. That's how I talk to myself. That's what my inner monologue sounds like. Of course. Anyway. Okay, I think just 20 minutes into the run, that's about everything I'm going to be finding. Beautiful layout. All right. Get up to the Master's Keep. Let's see if there's like a good synergy. If I got like poison synergy or something with rebound stone here, that could be worth using. Maybe. If only I had something to do burning of any variety. But then again, Scavenger Bombard also does already have poison synergy. I should just keep that. It's like the Prismatic Shard deck is really working out well here. All right, once again, I should just save this for, of course, the Forge after this, but also, well, I mean, yeah. I still don't know if I'm going to be able to win. We'll see. In the meantime, though, I do believe this is about the point in time. Go grab me Soldier's Resistance for a pretty huge increase in health. And then, well, Necromancy might not work too well for me, but everything else will contribute a lot to me surviving. No, you can't do this to me. I am Mew. Can't you see the outfit? All right, well, let's go. Thousands of humans pulled from their eternal slumber. That's the entire island in this game. Then again, I'm still not quite sure if this is technically happening in the normal Dead Cells area. Who knows how that works. Hey, it's me, doing cosplay nonsense. Oh, okay, got the roll, actually. I'm surprised. Now, I don't really know how well... Exactly. Okay. I don't really know how well exactly. Nice. Okay, well, it got me with the explosion. The, what am I trying to say here? Yeah, okay. Just gotta make sure I roll through that, because you can do that. And then there's the classic death attack. That's the really... Ooh, you can roll through that. It's not easy, but you can do it. Let's take out those already. Roll, and then it goes backwards to... And then I get hit by the sides anyway. Doing pretty well, though. Not too disappointed at this at all. And then, you know what? In fact, let's just... Yeah. Keeping close to him is not a bad idea, or at least it wouldn't be if... You know, okay, well, now I'm starting to get hit stupidly. Oh. Not bad. Not bad, though. Still, I'm kind of embarrassed how badly I did just overall. By the end there. It was going just fine right up until the last moment. Because it's like, yeah, staying close to him. He does have the explosion attack. But at the same time, you can roll through every one of the other attacks. Like the Scythe throw looks huge. It looks enormous. The slashes he does also look enormous. But they can be rolled through. And it's like it's funny because much like the original Death, yeah, the flying scythes just kind of going around there are one of the hardest things to deal with. Back when I played that game, back when I played Castlevania, the original one, for the first time, the big thing that I did to try and, you know, work with that issue, the flying scythes, just, well, get the ability to throw out 3 of your sub weapon, and then what I did was I just got holy water and stun locked him. I want to see if I can do that with holy water as it exists in this game. I mean, not stun lock him, but like only beat him with holy water. Yeah, first time I tried fighting him, I got so close though. I was doing some really good dodges around, but if you ever played the original Castlevania, it is rough. It is, you know, it has realistic jumping physics associated with it, which is kind of the sort of a thing. It makes you... comparison I always heard was people saying that it feels like you're controlling a brick in that game. And it's not inaccurate. All of these exploding snakes. It's not inaccurate, but it's also, you know, normally you don't have the ability to move around in midair. That's just me making excuses. But, yeah, it's like even then I did so well, and then when you had like, what, three pips of health left or something, I died, and I'm like, I am just gonna go figure out what is the most overpowered sort of weapon Since he always spawns in the same place, it works like that. Of course, this Death is a lot more like, what? I think the first time that Death had the double-sided scythe, like the one I'm using here, and uses, obviously, in the boss fight, is that, during Aria of Sorrow? I played that game on the channel. I think that even one of the thumbnails for that was literally Death taking out the double-sided scythe. It's, I mean, at some point in time I should just go play like the rest of classic Castlevania on here. I really do love that series. By the way, who did I partner with when I was originally playing Castlevania 3? Alucard, of course. I think I started out with Grant, but then, I switched over to Alucard. I had to do a second playthrough to even see Sypha then, of course. Which is, despite being a very prominent character of the series, it's like, don't see her as much. You do get like an outfit, I know. Yeah, I didn't think so. Laser Glaive's not bad, though. Don't want to go with Laser Glaive. I think I should probably just go take, Cudgel's gonna be better. And obviously we're gonna be doing eventually the proper run with, obviously going to be doing the proper run with Alucard's shield a little bit later, because I want that to be a primary source of damage, of course. I think that's going to be a very, interesting sort of run. I've had people ask me to do stuff like shield-only runs before, and in general, it's a tough ask for a lot of them, especially because there's plenty of enemies that you really just can't use a shield on. These shockers, for example, right here. There are technically things that you can do to shield, like stuff like Cocoon, for example, but for the most part, or, hope that you have another enemy near you and use something that has a little bit of a area of effect type of hits associated with it. But yeah, maybe like Assault Shield would be the best one that you could do that with, but I just don't like using Assault Shield. It's a little bit tricky in how it works. The whole fly forward there is not the easiest thing to sort of predict where you're going to end up, and usually doesn't do as much damage as you want. Yeah, I know you got the speedrunner trick with it, where you can roll at the same time for a big old boost in speed, but it's still not quite my favorite. Alucard's shield does seem a little bit different, though, in how it works. A little bit more planned out. Because it's not just attacks by pressing the attack button, it also does do parries and everything, and pretty effectively. We'll get to that eventually. For right now, stun duration and everything, pretty good. I mean, I do have stun synergy on Death Scythe and everything, so I don't know how much I'm going to actually get with that, because as we all know, most bosses in this game stay stunned for an attosecond or something like that. I mean, certainly, definitely the Hand of the King does. Of which, I guess, I'm thinking about this right now. This is the new save file. I never really did a 5 boss cell run. I was sort of hoping to get the rest of the blueprints before the DLC came out, but that didn't quite happen in that way. I guess this is going to be the inaugurable, 5 cell run for this save file. Potential. We'll see how far I end up getting. As it is, after all, I did manage to beat Death, which was, I mean, the thematic victory, right? That's the important thing, right? Okay. Well, there's a holy water that I was looking for. I mean, I don't really have any sort of burn synergy, except on the deck, but I'm not really using the deck for the attacks. I also got Cat. Am I gonna do Cat? And Cat's also another one I want to go take over to the death fight, because there is a specific achievement for having the final blow on death landed by the cat. Oh, it's interesting to see. I didn't even really notice that until right now, but yeah, the fact that the ghosts will also target the birds around here. I mean, they certainly do damage and everything, but they're not technically enemies. They don't, say, reduce God, I love how, like, my late game, these ghosts work so well. They don't reduce, like, curses or anything, but still. Why should I do that anyway? All right. God, the ghosts get so powerful. And they're supposed to scale with the enemies that are actually killed and everything, you know, based on their max health, I think it was, in proportion to the reanimated. Yeah, maximum health. So I guess it makes sense that they just become more powerful as, you know, you get on with the game. And they also scale with, like, stats too, right? Does it? I mean, it doesn't necessarily say if they scale with stats or anything, but it feels like that, right? I don't know, that's at least the feeling that I got. Man, Necromancy is a mutation that I feel like I rarely ever take, and I am shocked at how much, you know, value I'm getting out of it right now. Maybe I should end up taking this thing a little bit more. Because it's just been good. Well, let me take the ghost crew with me. Just go instantly kill anything that I come across. Yeah, this is such a good weapon. I love it. It's so different. You know, I mentioned of course the yeah, sure. I mentioned of course the Scythe Claws from back in the Bad Seed DLC. It's strange just how ridiculously different this weapon is. Being so fast, you know, it is two sides, but it's not two-handed. And it is so much faster, but still is quite powerful even in its own right. It's weird how it's different in that way. I mean, besides in video games, they're usually pretty powerful. I always think of what is it? Yggdra Union, Golkasa, who wields scythes, is kind of like his unique weapon type, which for whatever reason, like there in that game in Yggdra Union, there is a sort of rock paper scissors type of mechanic when it comes to weapons being able to, let's get to 60 kills, when it comes to weapons being able to counter each other, and Golkasa's weapon, the scythe, is able to counter everything. For whatever reason. Usually don't really think of scythes as being particularly, I don't know, well suited to war or anything. You would think that having a curved blade in this way would just, well, there goes that. Unfortunately. Well, actually, no, no, there it is. Neat. Anyway. You would think that having a curved blade like this and everything, it's just like, you know, you get that stuck in this, a dude's side, and then you're never getting it back. Because, like, it's not like a sword where you can just pull it straight out. You got to pull it at a weird angle, and you're probably more likely to just break the handle more than anything else. Unless you got, like, a big metal pole like I'm working with here. This is the most ridiculous hair splitting. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway. All right, Doctor Infernal Firebird, expert. Yeah, here we go. This is the sort of ghost that, well, now go for the bird, I guess. Might be a good thumbnail. Should have swung the scythe around there a little bit. And here's a question. Do I really want to go on Dying Shores? No, what I want to do is I want to go back and I want to go get instead a 50% heal from the shop here before I do anything else. Sort of an important part of even coming into the shrines in the first place. I mean, of course, I would also like to go get, you know, the flask recharge, but I'm doing fine. Yeah, it's been a little bit tricky at some points in time here, but it's going pretty well. Like I said, this is me not even working with maximum level 4, just me not even working with everything unlocked. It is a Castlevania run. I feel like Clock Tower is a lot more appropriate too, right? I mean, yes, the shore stuff. There are plenty of shore type of areas that have existed, usually deep below the castle in one way or another. But here, the Clock Tower, on the other hand, is the absolute classic sort of Castlevania anything, period. Yeah, I want to get that, but it's not going to work. Don't wait a second. That was a reference to. I mean, I guess I could also go Sepulchre, but no, we're going Clock Tower. I guess that was a reference to Edgar Allan Poe. Sure. Why not? Anyway, a red death. Yes, I mean, death already comes back normally. Having a combination of the red skeleton and death would only be that much better. Kind of surprised they didn't put the red skeleton in either. I mean, Medusa heads, red skeletons, these are your classic sort of Castlevania enemies, the really obnoxious ones to fight, right? Now, it's just too bad that I can't go fight Dracul here, even though I would almost definitely lose, so I'm not too broken up about that. I'll live. No, anyway, I'm still gonna... I guess what I'm gonna have to do is, at least last I checked, might have changed this up in the meantime, that there was still... Come on now. There was still no way to fight the DLC bosses in particular in the practice area. So I might just have to... I'm thinking I'm just going to have to go throw on assist mode or something and then purposely die in the battle over and over so that I can kind of get used to how it works. Because otherwise it is quite the trek all the way up here, of course. This is not an early part of the game in the same way that Death is, certainly. And Dracula is not quite the same sort of boss that you would even be fighting. Ugh. After the first couple levels. Oh, Mama Tick maybe kind of comes close. Ah, the DLC bosses, even at this point in time, still very tricky. A lot of very tricky enemies just in general. Okay, then 20. I know. I could have had, what is it, at least like 22 now if I just took the cute wolf cursed chest, but at the same time, you know, I did, like, I got hit so much. Yes, I did get the 60 kills, but I also got hit so much that... There we are. I also got hit so much that I do not think it is... Okay, how many more of these are going to be coming out here? I'm not even getting ghosts from them. They're supposed to be automatons. Whatever. Ghost in the machine, I guess. Right? That's how that works. Oh. Once again, it is just a... It is so reminiscent of early, like, challenge runs where I literally could not stay on one topic for more than 10 seconds, it felt like. I mean, well, that's how that goes. Anyway, Ghosts still doing my bidding, doing a great job of it. I am sort of disappointed, though, that I wasn't able to find that legendary one. That would have been just silly at this point in the game. You can just see how easily these ghosts are just doing in terms of killing enemies on their own. I would never want for ghosts if I was at such a point. But here we are. Okay. Another good scythe in video games that I really liked, the red scythe in Dungreed. It was one that would just attack just stupidly quickly. And it was a lot of fun to use. Still waiting for that game to eventually get some more updates or something. Because I know it sort of felt like the last one that was there was probably the final one they were going to do, but I still like that game and I'd like to see more of it. What can I say? Little Rogue Legacy-y type of game. Which, of course, I also really liked Rogue Legacy 2, so you surprised? Go, do my bidding. See, having things just kind of jump out of nowhere and then immediately get killed by ghosts is, it works for me. Okay, now. Oh, and now we're finally at a point, now that I'm out of the DLC lands and everything, that I am no longer just permanently at 50% health. I can maybe even switch out the mutations here to something a little bit more favorable. Go and get, I don't know, combo, because that's the one with the scythe on it, right? We're doing themed runs here today. No, you don't. And then ghosted right in the face. That's what ghosting is, right? I don't know. I'm not hip to the lingo with you kids these days, but I'm pretty sure that's what ghosting is. When you have a ghost explode in your face. Okay. Yes. By the way, there is Castlevania-esque food on, because of course there is. Since I'm only getting turkeys and cakes and whatnot. Quickly. Ugh. Take out your brethren. Right, and then pretty much this, and then I'm out of here. Feel like I should... well, it is still, you know, melee fight and whatnot, but I do have a shield and everything. If I can get even a decent stun in on the Timekeeper, should be fine. Yeah, I guess I'll go... Well, I mean, obviously I'm going to go... Oh, jeez. Got 60 kills. See, it's so nice having these ghosts kind of paying attention for me, so when I don't see something spawning in... I got the 60 kills, it doesn't matter. So when I don't see something spawning in here, they can just kind of take care of it anyway. Just got the old ghost crew. Stop that. Like, look, you can try. You can try and sneak up on me like that, but no, you're not going to. Yeah, sure. Scavenge Bombard been pretty good so far. Not a very Castlevania weapon, really. I mean, I guess you could get like an RPG or something in I think Aria of Sorrow doing the... Yeah. Doing the boss rush or something like that, but that's about the closest thing that I can think of. You get some very silly weapons in the course of the Castlevania games. I always remember that Portrait of Ruin being able to get the pie, the throwing pie, which of course was pretty useless because it was dark elemental, and you know, in Dracula's castle, you don't really find a whole lot of things that are going to be weak to that. I'm gonna see if I can go and re-roll this into poison. And it also got thrown at a weird angle. But then there was one very particular enemy it was quite good against. Come on. Come on. Yeah. There we go. Okay. I'm feeling good. I feel like, you know, this is about as appropriately powerful as Death Scythe probably should be. I remember Dawn of Sorrow. You could use Death Scythe. I mean, I'm sure you could probably do it in way more games than that, but that was always the one I think of because you had to use Death Soul for it. And if you wanted to have Death Soul, you had to go replay the game again. It's not too bad, but I always, of course, use like the big heavy weapons like that one in particular because it was the one with the highest stats on it. See, it has a really high attack rate. Don't even pay attention to the fact that it, of course... Woo! Oh, close. Alright, I was sort of hoping to get like a little bit more damage there. Alright. Like, you just get like a little bit more. Alright, that's a look. Yeah, it's like, doesn't matter if it attacks much slower. It is, of course. Wow, is that a perfect fight? I think so. Neat. I didn't get that one against death, but I'll take what I can get. And I'll also take this too. This is still technically part of the new save file. I'm gonna go put that in the playlist and everything. No, I'm not doing that, but we'll do that. We'll... Hey, Alucard. Yeah. Is there any way that I could go? High Peak and Derelict Distillery, yeah. And also the shipwreck area. I can't believe I did it. Is this any good, though? Freezes enemies blocked with a parry. It's not bad. No, it's not going to be that good, though. Don't really have the shovel to be able to do anything with that. Ah, well. I mean, hey, I'll say this. Survival build, managing to take out the Timekeeper, one of the fastest enemies, without getting hit. It's not bad. Oh, I would have probably gone to the Queen fight, but I don't have that unlocked in this save file yet. Oh, there was so much that I wanted to do before the DLC came out. And yet, nope. Just didn't happen. There's too many blueprints in the game. That's the real problem. Well, at least I got more than enough, more than enough experience going up against the Guardian Knights here. Well, that's good. Yep. There we go. What a great weapon. Once again, is truly probably the most, well, hard to say what the most powerful of the DLC is, but still, like, look at that. What a great, like, opener there. And I think it also might have stunned him out of attacks, too, at that. It's a lot of good stuff. Now, here's a question. Why do I have, like, a barrier around me right now? What's going on? I saw this glitch before. I don't know what the deal is. Still considered to be like an enemy, by the way, because... No? Okay. Usually like to turn around for the third hit there. It didn't quite happen in that way. Now, did it... Whoop! Oh, no, those are my ghosts. Hello, Lancer. Goodbye, Lancer. You tried hard, but back to Deltarune with you. Now then. Speaking of another character that used sides a lot. Not Lancer. The Devil. Anyway. I don't know what else I would really want here at this point in time. I feel like I'm not going to get much better than what I'm using right now. I'll check. Maybe... Nah. Unless I'm going to go for another perfect fight, which, I mean, I'm going to try, of course. But we'll see how that actually works out in time. Don't really know what my chances of are of trying to manage to do that again. Good parry. I really thought I was too far away from him for a second, but nope. Managed it anyway. Well, I mean, the fact that you can even use a shield with this build is kind of wacky. It feels like the sort of weapon that you shouldn't be able to use a shield with it, right? Like, that should... It is still a double scythe. Got that symmetrical lance action going on. Yeah, nice try, but certainly fought the hand of the king enough to know how that works. Anywho. Okay, yep, and ghosts just doing everything else I could possibly want. Whew. Still surprised. It's a good weapon. What more can I really even say about that? And again, considering that this was my weapon of choice, even when I was playing the Dawn of Sorrow, it's like, come on. It's nice to be able to use it in also still pretty powerful form. Even though, it's funny to think that, yeah, the Dawn of Sorrow version of this weapon, the same weapon, is probably more what I would think. That is a big boy. Here, let's get a thumbnail going on here. There we go. You know, just thinking about the future here. No, I should have just let it run into him. I can't believe I got hit there. That's so dumb. I got barely hit at all, but still. Mad at myself here. Alright. Ugh. It's weird how in some ways I think I'm playing pretty good, and in other ways I am super not. Get that nice swing in there. Because I do believe that with, you know, something I haven't even mentioned, I think, up until this point, that the swing around here hits multiple times, so stuff like the poisoning that I'm getting off of Catalyst is actually applying quite a bit there, quite a few stacks. Which is good for me. Because that just means that I'm getting that much more damage out of it. Right? Okay, then. I'm definitely going to have to go grab that scroll, but aside from that, and I'm betting this is probably the end area right now. Right now? No, it's just the one leading in here. But, that's neither here nor there. Here we are. Okay, no, I was right. It was just underneath that area. Hey, there's a cross, too. I've heard that one a little bit more difficult to use. got that sort of boomerang style of action, though, which I think can be pretty powerful. We'll see when I end up using it. Because I don't know. I mean, I'd like it to be pretty good because I like the cross. I think cross is a pretty cool weapon. Still didn't end up, at least as far as I know, end up putting in the stopwatch into the game. I was sort of thinking there's the old temporal distortion, slows down enemies, but gives them a pretty big damage reduction. Still super, super overpowered. That, as far as I know, despite being the perfect candidate for being the pocket watch, not actually introduced into the game as such. This was not surprising. It was very overpowered. Anyway, throne room, no 60 kills this time. I feel like I have been otherwise pretty good at getting that. Sure, unlock ice crossbow, why not? Still want to get that Red Death outfit. I mean, I'm sure I can probably take a guess as to what it's going to look like, but still. I want to get it anyway, of course. I was thinking about just like throwing on, going and getting all 5 of the death outfits and then just having it randomized between each area. But I think classic death outfit is the one to go with, right? All right. I think I'm ready. Yeah, you can absolutely see just the sheer amount of... Oh, okay, well, so much for getting the perfect fight, but hey, I tried. All right. Thought that parry would have worked, but not quite. Now let's just real quick. Oh, I'm sort of worried about these flags more than anything else at this rate. Oh, and there goes my turret. Well, oh, wow. Ah! There, how about that? Here. Well, you know what would be pretty fun? Getting an elite one of these characters here as a ghost. So I was saying that this is like the one point in time that I'm going to be able to actually use that. Ah! Yeah, I thought so. Good stuff. This is like Super Castlevania 4 music specifically, by the way. I thought it was only Symphony of the Night, but maybe that was also in that game? I don't remember. Good hit. Most damage I'm taking in this entire run, it feels like. Well, we saw the first couple areas. That was kind of embarrassing. It's fine. Not gonna worry too much about it, really. Have I gotten all the outfits here already? Huh. Well, let's see if we can go and finish up first inaugural, like I said, 5-cell run for this new save file. Why not? I feel like this is a good point in time to do so, as I'm cosplaying as death itself. Well, let's see how it goes. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do like the 2 million damage or something that I did back when I fought him using the Scythe Claws, but still, I think it'll probably work out pretty well anyway. Good stuff. Good stuff, the old Scythe Claw episode. I do wonder if this weapon is also going to get a little bit of tweaking here and there in the same way. Because I remember that it's like the original version. Oh, yeah, the ghosts are also going to work super good. Sure. The ghosts are also going to work super, super good against the librarians, which are otherwise just straight from the pits of hell. So I'm entirely and totally okay with that. Now, in the meantime, I do have a Necromancy, so I will wait to pick that up. This is one time that I want to go try and get like the... No, I probably shouldn't get Sonic Crossbow. We'll do that at a different point in time. Ah! Okay. Well, I was hoping that I had another ghost there to try and take care of the librarian, but it didn't matter regardless. I was able to stealth right up on him. You know, stealth in this video game. This game can be stealthy, you know, right? No, not really. I like the magistrate there flying around. Looks very silly. Oh, what would I even want at this point in time? I feel like I'm already doing pretty good in how things are working here. Good. Fortunately, does get stopped by the skulls of the magistrate summons there, but still. Oh, yeah, I guess, you know, yeah, talking about, like, the huge area that the scythe covers, you also do kind of hit above you enough to be able to get the librarians. This weapon's great. This is a great weapon. I do wonder if it's going to be changed, though, at some point in time. Because, like, yeah, Scythe Claw's very powerful to start with. Then not as powerful now. It's still fun to use and everything, but, man, they were so powerful that you can go and take the... what was that called? The adrenaline mutation, you know, even though that's not survival scaling, and still manage to get a huge amount of health just because of how much damage that they would do. It was an absurd amount. Let me just go right by the floating box here. Say hi to the other floating boxes over there. And go fight the slammer here. Give me that alien key. The key of aliens. Even though it's just an owl, really, but I don't know why they call it that. Now that's a good-sized bird. Unfortunately, it's probably going to explode before it even has a chance to go attack anything, but still. Unless... I appreciate going up against a librarian, my ancient enemy. That is, of course, the ideal target here. Okay. Oh, slowly but surely. Oh, all right. Sure. This will make up for some of the curse chests that I missed so far. Also, don't really see this a whole lot up in the old astrolabe. Oh, you got anything good? I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, that's definitely worth it still. Not quite the ideal. I mean, of course, I'd want all 4 into... By the way, do I have extra jumps here? I do have 1. There we go. I want all 4 into survival, but I'll take what I can. Extra health is still good. And by the end of this, I should be getting, of course, max potion charges, provided that things don't go horribly, just incredibly super wrong. They might, though. I mean, I'm not going to say... You really don't know when it comes to dead cells. Yeah, you can just hit above you with this. Okay, great. Happy to hear that. All right. Because that is always, especially using a survival run. Oh, well. If only this actually scaled the survival, that would have been really good. Well, then again, I am planning to spend most of my money here. Maybe not. And get that... Get ghost advantage. Nah. Get ghost advantage and then right in there. What a fun weapon. Anyway. Also got the Thunder Shield mutation here, which is pretty fun too. Thunder Shield mutation is... mutation. Thunder Shield Blueprint is a good weapon. It's a good shield. Let's get those cool synergies. Let's get quite a bit of extra damage. Hey, it's me. See, jumped right behind me, only to get jumped directly into the ghost. That was the mistake. Your first and last mistake. Ever. I'm just going to fall directly down here and not hit the sides at all, even if I do take the fall stun there. As I realized what a terrible mistake I did as I was doing it. And then... looking around... Well, got the alien key, got the elevator key. Let's just get out of here already. Like I said, I could... Good looping on the music. I could, of course, also try and go for the Sonic Carbine. Oh, it has been improved quite a bit, despite being one of the... It always used to be that it was one of the hardest blueprints to get in the game, and, well, not really particularly worthwhile. By the way, do the ghosts die to the electric beams? Because sometimes, like, weird things die to the electric beams. Like Mushroom Boy and whatnot. I was kind of curious if that was the same there. Okay. Anyway, Sonic Carbine's been improved, but I just don't think it's worth it. I'm gonna die to just getting hit by a bunch of laser bullet traps if I try and do that. Here, get down here. There we are. Oh, almost got 60 kills. You have that 60 kill door. Not that it really gives you too much of anything, aside from the usual rewards you get for 60 kill doors. Still, it'd be fun to get. Once again, really show just how good this weapon is. Oh, okay, well, I was going to try and get it above me and then attempt to... I'm going to try and get it above me and then attempt to... Oh, boy. There's a 60, though. Try to hit it with the upswing on the weapon, the circling, spinning around. But didn't even need to do that. Just killed him on the first hit, which is silly. I'll take what I can, though. Ow, my body. I'm okay, though. Yeah, just get enemies spawning in here, which are, of course, not really doing me any favors just by themselves. Okay, now, how am I just... It's like I got the 60 kills, and I'm like, okay, time just to get hit by every single enemy possible. No time like the present. Oh, what's that? Is this getting hit by enemies o'clock? Fantastic. My favorite time of day. All right. Let's go up here, get this. Should be up to full health, and then I'm gonna go see how this one goes. I'll say it right now, I'm feeling pretty good, as it turns out. Did you see that? Did you see that? Like, what more do I need to say? All right. So yeah, 50% heal, maybe even get rid of all the melees. Why not? Well, I do have the 60 kill door. Maybe I could also try and, you know, roll a decent weapon if I find something in there. Besides, I'm already at 0 melees too. Wow, how'd that happen? Whatever, I'll take it. Not gonna complain. Certainly not. All right. And then we get to see the cuts. And then, yeah, if you're coming in, it's see the cutscene for the first time. Because it's like it doesn't play past the first time, so that's fun. Anyway. Yeah, I don't believe there's anything unique in here. Nah, we do get like the rebound stone and like Yule here, which is fun, but I don't really have any good synergies right now. Nah, nothing. I mean, yeah, rebound stone or holy water would actually work with this build. I mean, I guess rebound, if I took both of them. I think that is... I'm not going to try and switch up the entire run right now. After all, there's going to be dedicated runs for all of those, too. Anyway. No, I guess, you know, I should probably... What? I don't know. You again. I think it's pretty good idea. I don't know. Sure. Still healing on the fly, sort of. But let's see. I guess that's the only thing I can really say. Death has come for you. It's me. I'm Death. By the way, the character very explicitly talks in the DLC to Dracula. Yeah, pretty cool. Quite a few. I think I had like nearly 200 cells here. I wonder if that actually counts how many it is when you do that. Yeah, we'll see if we have that happen. Alright. Well, didn't even go for the multi-hit there. Yep. Oh, okay, fine. Once again. Oh, man, I am just going to watch out for the... Okay. There we go. Well, didn't get the first phase done just yet, but... Oh, come on. All things to get hit by, that is the most embarrassing one, as always. I swear, more often than not, I tend to get hit by the just, like, regular enemies from this phase here. Okay. Definitely don't want to get hit by this, though. At least they don't do that much damage. Okay. Okay. And one more for good measure. Alright. Yeah, the... Wait, was that like a weird animation glitch I saw there? Not quite sure. But yeah, the poison's still working pretty good, too. Alright. Ha! See? I told you the parry thing was going to work out well. Okay, and then that one did not work out well. Well, whatever. I can do the same thing, too. Hey, check that out. Pretty cool, huh? Okay, then. Oh, wait. Are we already at the final? Surprising. Usually go through more than that, right? Oh, yeah, right. The stun. Okay. Get that. Yeah, when I got like the stun there, probably a not bad idea. Anyway. Nope, I don't think I'm going to have too much of a problem here. Oh, come on. I want to at least do it with the scythe itself. Oh, well. As always, one of the best items in the game. But then, since this is the first time I'm doing this on the save file, let's see the dumb cutscene that does happen after this too. Are we back here? Alright. However, walking a little bit forward. Now here's the thing. I have fought this boss without any weapons before. I'll do it again. Hit me. Yeah, I would say so. I think I did a pretty good job. Lore. But then, of course, kind of dealing with the aftermath of that will be something for a different episode.